Darren look pretty good out there today?
Darren looked good, yeah. He looked good on Tuesday and Wednesday. He looked good today. So.
Is it
Yep.
good to go then?
We'll see. We got to get him out till Thursday, so he's good to go if we play tonight.
Okay.
So.
Was he that strong on Tuesday? Did he come right
What's
back?
that? Yeah, he was. Everybody practiced. That could practice Tuesday and Wednesday, so we were good.
Any thoughts on giving Seastrunk some reps with the first or second team?
No, we got pretty good depth at running back right now. We're confident what we got going into the game, and we're not going to play a kid just for the sake of playing a kid. If it means he's going to get one snap in a game, it's not worth wearing a red shirt on. So.
Even with Kenyon being day-to-day?
No.
Chip, I know recruiting's a year-round thing. When you're doing as well as you're doing, coming off the Rose Bowl, how much does that help as you move forward?
It helps, but I mean, every kid's kind of individuals, and you know, sometimes you would think it would help more than it does, and then other times it's really the reason somebody contacted you. So the big thing for us is making sure we got the right fit and for our school, and what may be the right fit for Oregon is different than the right fit for everybody else. So we're pretty thorough in our evaluations of making sure that the ones we're going after are the right guys for our team in terms of how hard will they practice? Will they practice as hard as we need them to practice? You know, they buy into what we're going to do. So it's going well, but it's a long process. It's never done until the signing date, and then the day after the signing date, you're getting ready for the next year. So
is it an easy program to sell right now? What's your main message when you end up talking to these
I don't
kids?
know if it's about selling it as much as it's about us finding the right fit for the individual player, because you know, if you sell it to the wrong guy, it's not worth it for the player, it's not worth it for you. So you know, it's about the evaluations that we make of them, and then they make it for us, and really you don't sell it, it's they know that it's the right fit. You know, there's obviously a lot of talented players out there that we offer, but they have to make a determination of, is this what they want? You know, and if this school offers a ton of things, and from that standpoint, educationally, what we have to offer at the level of football we're playing, all those other things, yeah, it is, but you know, that's not, to me, it seems like it's the right fit, but it's got to feel that way to the recruit also.
You call this an improvement week, not a bye week. What are some of the things
that was last week? So
correct.
Now we're
yeah.
back into game week, but
This is
yeah,
our first time.
we need to clean up fumbles lost. You know, we're not very good in that right now. We've lost 4 fumbles in special teams and 4 fumbles on offense, and we need to clean that up. We got some holding penalties that are high, in my opinion, and we need to work on fundamentals, getting our hands inside the framework of the body. We got to tackle better on defense. You know, there's times when we can get them off the field on third down, but it's just a missed tackle that prevents us from that. So it's really it was a real fundamental week for us on the days that we practiced in terms of just trying to improve as a team. We weren't putting in any schemes, we weren't putting in any plays. It was just, how do we get better as a group? And you know, they practiced really, really well last week, and it carried over to we practiced really, really well today. So.
You're always trying to make sure that you have depth. The guys are ready to come in at any point in time. Talk about just kind of like how that's happened so far this year. Guys who get their chance to come in and don't really miss a beat.
Yeah, you know, and it's a lot towards them in terms of their preparation. Is that they all, and it's not coach talk, that they got to prepare like they're the starter. Nate's a prime example of that in terms of how he came off the bench in the Washington State game. We didn't miss a beat. Our offense doesn't change when Nate goes in the game, but the same thing says for our defense when Michael Clay goes in for Casey Matthews, or our secondary rotates, or Brandon Bear's out of the game and Deion Jordan's in the game. You know, we don't say, okay, Deion's in, so let's call it differently, because they all understand the game plan, they all understand what we're trying to do, and it's why one of the reasons that we're where we are right now is because of the depth on both sides of the ball, both offensive and defensive.
Now that you are preparing, go ahead. Go ahead.
You seem to be relatively healthy too. How encouraging is that? Six
it's
games
very,
into
very
the season?
encouraging. You know, the big thing that of trying to sustain this thing, because it's a long season, is can you keep your playmakers healthy and on every position? And we're, you know, knock on wood, we're relatively healthy at this point in time, and that's helped us. You know, there's a lot of times, and you know, you're going through it. You know, do you lose a key player here and there? And if you do you have a backup? You know, but I think right now we've been relatively healthy, and I think it's a lot to how we practice and how we prepare. And our players understand the value of practice, and that's going to prepare you for the games, and our guys have been doing that. So.
Coach, without getting into specifics, obviously, with the injury, but are there, when you have a guy who has a head injury, are there certain neurological things that they
our
go
doctors
through?
handle all that, so I don't diagnose injuries, I don't get involved in injuries, and they tell us who can play and who can't play, and then we just go from there. So for me to weigh in and say that I think it's, you know, his synapses aren't firing on the left side better than they're on the right side, I mean, that's not my job. My job is to coach football. Their job is to be medical staff. When they clear a player to play, then they're cleared to play, but not until that point in time. The same thing happens during a game. Chief just tells me, is the kid in or is he out? You know, I don't get into debates over what the injury is and all those other things, because that's not my job. So everybody has a role on this team from a coaching standpoint, from a medical standpoint, from a player standpoint, and they just tell us how to go.
Now that you're preparing for UCLA, can you kind of handicap them, you know, what you kind of need to work on in this game?
Yeah, you know, they run a little bit of a different offense than they run before. They've changed. They're running the pistol offense. They're running the ball really well. Their passing game isn't what it has been in the past, but I think it's maybe because of their dedication to running this new offense, but they are running the ball really well. It depends on what game you watch to what you see. They played as good a football as I saw when they went down to Texas and beat Texas. We imagine they have a week off. They got a chance to recover a little bit, and we're expecting a heck of a Pac-10 football game here next Thursday night. But, defensively, they're the same they've been in the last couple of years, and they've been one of the better defenses in the league. They got some athletic players. Akeem Ayers is as good a linebacker as in this league. Raheem Moore is as good a safety as there is in this league. They got 2 really good running backs that can tilt the rock a little bit. So we expect a battle on Thursday.
How's Darren looked since Washington State?
Darren's looked great. Practice full today, so
Huff took some reps at running back. How
he's
important
taken
is
reps at running
versatility?
back since he's been here. So
How important
he
is
actually
versatility?
scored a touchdown against Portland State playing running back. He's done that a lot, so that's just part of our offense. You see LT 2-A in the backfield too, so it's just part of what we're doing. When we're in a 2-back set, how we bringing a receiver in, we bringing a running back in. It depends on the versatility of that player. And Josh's got a lot of versatility, and that helps us out.
You took the day off Thursday?
Did I take the day off Thursday? No, I was actually in Portland last week at Oregon Club Function.
Oh, you have any big